So here it is then. It's being reported in one paper. I haven't seen it in the others. It's reported in yesterday's Mail. And if you want to have a look at it online, you can see, if you type in the heading that you can see in this article into the news section, you'll be able to see the whole article without any problem. It's basically, the government is to unveil a blueprint for a new £155 a week state pension, and that's been confirmed in the Queen's speech last week. So it is now coming in. 12 million people will not get the pension. So no doubt Cameron and Osborne find that extremely funny, because basically it's just another granny tax. It's the same group of people that are being targeted. Apparently it's women over the age of 60 and men over the age of 62 who will, for the rest of their lives, have a pension which is inferior to the main state pension. So instead of having £155 a week, they'll have roughly £107 a week, roughly a £50 a week cut in their pension, I think you can say, which amounts to a second granny tax. I think Boy George has been on the cocaine again, because I don't think this is going to go down terribly well. So the newspaper says, won't this create a generation divide? And the answer is, in simple terms, yes. The change is designed to do away with today's messy means testing trap, will create a pensions apartheid. There will be a first-class and a second-class state pension. Now, in my other videos on this subject, I've called it a third-class state pension, and I think that summarises it a little bit more appropriately. 12 million OAPs will miss out until the further details emerge. It appears women over the age of 60 and men over 62 will languish in the old system. They'll be stuck on a maximum of £107.45 a week basic state pension, a potential loss of £1,690 a year, or £42,000 over a 25-year retirement. But of course George will just say, tough. So who wins? The changes will help stay-at-home mothers, 3 million self-employed workers and those on low incomes, all of whom currently struggle to build a full state pension. So let's get this straight. Stay-at-home mothers who did not pay into the National Insurance Contribution Pension pot should be subsidised by mothers who went out to work who did pay into the pension pot. Sorry, George, have you been on the cocaine again? I don't quite get it. The other group of people who will win, apparently, are the self-employed, who, now, it's not quite clear, but I think what they're saying is this. I'll just quote, the same goes for the self-employed. Most receive little more than £107.45, which is the basic state pension, because state second pension entitlements are not given to anyone who is their own boss. So I think what they're saying here is that the self-employed were not able to invest in SERPs. They weren't allowed to do that, SERPs being the second state pension. But what they don't say is that some of the self-employed may have done extremely well in small businesses and that sort of thing, and they would have had the opportunity, if they so wished, to pay into a private pension. They don't have to pay into SERPs. You can't pay into a private pension and SERPs, I don't think. But they didn't have to go for SERPs. So again, it doesn't make sense. Now, George may realise that prices are going to go up, and there are legions of people in this country who have spent all their money and have not made any provision for themselves. So I think what he's saying is that he's intending to rob the people who have saved in order to give away money to the people who have not saved, which is, you need to be aware, the new Tory party policy. So the point is really that what he could have done is he could have made provision for these people if he had to make provision for them, but he could have done it in a fair way, something which would have been seen as fair, which is to give all pensioners the same pension, but he has chosen not to do that. Now, George Osborne is a young man, and he probably sees 12 million pensioners over the age of 60 as people who are, as he would put it, coffin dodgers. And I think that he needs to really realise that he may have miscalculated. They've probably done their calculations and they've thought these people are going to exit from the voting registers fairly soon and they don't need to worry about it too much. So all their policies at the moment are targeting the over 60s. And I think, you know, what if he's miscalculated as to the timing of when these people croak? Because when they go to get their pension, every time they collect their pension, every time the pension is sent to them, it will be reinforcing the fact that it was the Tories what done it.